This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beasts, Beast Alliance, Arcee, and Cheetor. Obviously, this figure goes along with the movie that recently came out. I guess not too recently, wasn't it about a year ago now? I should say I recently watched it when I could get it at the library. So I don't got I don't get a lot of the movie figures anymore. They just don't usually settle my taste very well. But Arcee is one of my favorite characters, along with Hot Rod, Beast Wars, Silverbolt, and Rat Trap. On the back of the box, we have what appears to be actual um, product shots and not renders. And I come to that conclusion because you can actually see the where the holes are for the connectors. And it seems like a lot of times when you see the renders, they don't have those. Arcee transforms into a motorcycle, and Cheetor transforms into a sword gun looking thing. Not gonna lie, I think they probably could have done a better job on that than what they did. Let's go ahead and have a quick look here at Cheetor. He's cast in this kind of off gray color that they like to use when they want to not have real gray, apparently. Probably would have been better if they just gone ahead and molded him all in the same yellow that they've used here on the rest of the body. He is supposed to be a cheetah after all. Surprisingly, the hands up front here are a separate piece from the legs, though the legs do not have any additional articulation except for moving the ball joints at the top. So, ball joint at the bottom, ball joint at the top. The head does not really move aside from the movement of the transformation, which apparently will just go like so. So his head fits in there, his little sword thing is there, and you would just end up moving the legs around like this. And you would think there would be like some specific spot where these things would like connect in here to at least make it do more, but no. You just kind of have to hold the legs like that. And then you have the handle right there, which again just seems kind of a silly spot for it. This is the whole let's create something really cheap and easy that we can use to milk the customer base. Arcee, we will go ahead and cut her loose. There is probably instructions in the bottom of this box somewhere. And if I have problems, I will go ahead and try digging them out. Otherwise, we will go ahead and pretend like we know what we're doing. So, Arcee is a motorcycle. Maybe you can hear this. Her transformation keeps her wheels really close to the legs so that they grind against each other. And her back wheel also is really close here and doesn't seem to want to move on its own very well either. So if you want her to roll, she just kind of slides rather than rolling. Transformation-wise, we'll figure this out in a moment. Take a quick look. Looks like we will want to spread these parts away, which is the front wheel and her arms, which then allow us to have some access to move her legs a little bit. So we will bend those out while we have these hinging into position on this double joint. Looks like the wheel just kind of goes up back there, and we can spin her legs around like so. It does kind of feel like, I mean, there's not a thing to move this forward any further than this, but it does kind of feel like they should be more forward. We can push the wheels and arms down like that, and they will click into place. We can spin her arms around like so to get her into a robot mode. And that seems to be all there is to her transformation. This doesn't fold anywhere out of the way. Her feet don't have any additional articulation. Though, I think overall the robot mode probably looks better than the core class version they did previously. I did not think to dig her out to go along with this. The one the one thing that makes this a little bit sad though is the core class had the wheels down here, which stood out a little too much in robot mode, but it did allow you to flip them down so she could roll on them like she's roller skating, which we saw in the movie itself at one point. Articulation wise, her head and neck are a single piece, and they are just on a swivel. So we got no, well, we have a little bit of an up and down because of the movement of the head inside there, which has more to do with transformation than anything else. The arms can move up a little bit because they have this little open spot at the ball joint. And of course, it's a ball joint, so they can spin around. The elbow does a better than 90, but not by much. But it is on a ball joint again, so we can spin this around like so and move it into different positions. Surprisingly, she has a wrist swivel, and you can turn her hand around a bit, so that gives you a little bit more articulation. We have ball joints at the thighs, which allow her to kick up, kick forward, kick back, where her ass end of her bike, or I guess that would be the front end of her bike in this case, hinders it. The transformation gives us this kind of funky chicken black leg articulation at the knee, but it does function as a regular knee joint also, and of course can really get the kick up here so she can hit her own butt if she wants to. Other than that, there is not a whole lot of articulation to her. Of course, she can hold on to the Cheetor gun with her hand. And I am going to bet that she probably won't be able to stand up. Oh, I would lose that bet. She can, in fact, stand up while holding it. It's not too bad of a look. I mean, the figure itself looks pretty good in robot mode as far as for a display goes. And I'm sure kids could have fun playing with it, but I can see some of those limbs popping off after a while easily enough. Because I just don't think those ball joints are very well made in this case. Oh, wow. So, it's easier to pose her with the weapon than without it. We will transform Cheetor back into his cheetah mode. Might have been kind of interesting if they'd worked some kind of gimmick like this into the actual movie, but they didn't. I found her at Meijer and she was on sale for like 25% off, so I got a really good deal on her. Otherwise, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. I do like to get the different versions of Arcee when I can, but the Legacy Arcee kind of killed a lot of that for me too because that figure just looks awful. When they just can't they couldn't G1ify the Prime Arcee and make her look good. I think they would have been better off just reissuing the Prime Arcee first edition, maybe with some modifications, than actually make that monstrosity. which seemed like it was designed more for creating other characters than for her, like um, the laser cycles from G2, which I haven't picked up any of those either because Transformers have gotten to the point where the cost of them is seriously not worth what you're getting, in my opinion, at least not for me. If I'm going to spend the money, it's going to be on Masters of the Universe related product and G.I. Joe, because G.I. Joe classified to me has become a better series than the Transformers have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look. Um, I guess I should have mentioned the amount of back kibble on her. I don't do the Transformers quite as often as I do the other figures, so stuff like this doesn't really occur to me. But yeah, she's got a whole lot of back kibble again for her size. Which I guess when you get right down to it, she's not a deluxe figure and she is not a core class figure by her sizing or by her engineering, as I like to say is her excuse for expensive minifigures. She just kind of falls in between there. And that just, as far as a play toy for kids, I think she's fine until she breaks. Uh, Please like, subscribe, comment, tell me how shitty of a job I did on this if you want. I do like Transformers, or more of the older ones than the newer ones, to be honest. But anyway, peace and love.